When I was 13, my parents bought a small family farm in western Pennsylvania, about 35 acres, and they moved us there. Now that was exciting and traumatic at the same time. I was being pulled apart from my friends. I was being stuck way out in the country right when I was ready to start going to dances and visiting with friends and overnight stays and that sort of thing. But I did learn to love the garden. The first year we were there, my father got us up every morning at 6 a.m. and we had to work in the garden until noon. Then we were free to do what we wanted. A few years ago, my father had a fairly serious operation. And when I went to visit him in the hospital, we were talking about growing up on the farm and what that was like, and especially now since I've become something of a gardener myself. And the thing that we reminisced about, interestingly enough, were when we were planting onions. It always seemed that when we planted the onions, he and my mother and I would have the most wonderful conversations. And there were always quiet conversations about what we wanted to do, or philosophy, or the meaning of life. And it seemed to have something to do with the onions. I don't know, the onions have a very long history of being sort of a wisdom plant. And it was very interesting to talk about that and reminisce about that, because I remember these beautiful evening plantings. It was really wonderful growing up in the farm. My parents have recently moved back to the old farmhouse. And my father's older now and can't get around in the garden. My mother still has her flower garden. So he's taken to planting vegetables on the patio. He got these big pots. And he's doing a great job of raising tomatoes and peppers and different things. But I always remember the onions and what sage advice he gave me when we were working in the garden.